Hi, so some of you might be wondering, why am I doing so much in exchange for so little in my YouTube channel? I mean, why am I recording so many videos when your channel is so small? I mean, at least when I'm recording this in September 7, 8, we're around 52 subscribers, and you might be thinking, why are you doing this? And the reason is, I have already said this in the first video, but it might be very far back, so it's always good a reminder. So yeah, let's get on with it, shall we? So the thing is, I was having, when I started this channel, severe issues with the lack of self-expression I was having, and that was becoming a severe problem at the time. And I needed both a creative outlet, just to do something, and I was needing a way of expressing myself, like big time. And I was not having it in my environment. My environment still not is a very safe environment where to be honest and express myself. So yeah, I just needed a place where to talk and talk and talk, and I wasn't having any of it. So I created my own channel just to speak and express. And I know it sounds like a very basic necessity, but when basic necessities are not being met, there's need to be an outlet for that. The good thing is I noticed that in the past my videos used to be really long, and it took me a while not only to get to the point, but to express everything I wanted in the most concise manner I could, because I was mostly rambling. And the thing is, I've been getting better at expressing more in less time. Not because I'm becoming better at communicating, it's because the more you do it, it's like a muscle. Not only it's more efficient, but it's also the fact that I'm not in despair to say as much as I can right now, because I would never have another chance to speak. No, it's more like I'm more calm because I'm doing it so often. I'm like more relaxed in my own communication style, because I don't need to become desperate, because if I want to, I will just make another video about it. It's just, there's less despair when it comes to communicating as much as possible. So that means I'm coming back to myself. I'm becoming more quiet, which is something good, because that's my nature. And I've walked away so much out of it that I was not at ease with myself, because one thing is being quiet by nature, and a different thing is being quiet because you can't express or be honest about anything around you. And you know that if you do, people around you will throw a sissy fit and will protest about it for the next 40 years. So, yeah, there's a massive difference between being quiet because that's your nature and being quiet because you have no other choice but to be quiet. And at the time, I was being quiet because I had no other choice. And then nowadays, I'm realizing I'm being quiet partly because I still don't have a choice, but even in my own channel, I'm being more myself. I'm allowing myself to be and not to speak, and to feel more and to be more at peace with myself. And that's something great. That took a lot of work, and I not only wanted to create an outlet to express myself, therefore using this as a modern day Wilson. In fact, one of the things in the description of my channel says that I'm using this as a modern day Wilson. Wilson! But the reality is, everything needs to be expressed one way or another, and if you don't find a way of expressing it, it will come out in an unhealthy manner, and at that point it was starting to appear in symptoms, both physical and mental. And as soon as I realized about it, I became aware about them. I knew I had to change something, and that change was this channel. And may not be much, but it's honest work. Another factor of this is that when you're going through certain things in your life, staring at the roof or watching videos on YouTube is not the most healthy thing. And I know it sounds crazy now, but being too much in a passive energy in which you're doing nothing and you're just going through the motions, just thinking, it's not good, not good. So doing, like creating something, doing play, doing knitting or something, it's something required, you know, to go more into that making energy, into more physical, more like, not just physically, but also like in the channel wise, to do with your time instead of just consume. And that was something I was needing and still do. And to be honest, even though editing, I do a very simple type of editing and I do a very simple type of uploading. And even in my shorts, I try to keep everything as simple as humanly possible because I don't have the time, because I have a job, and because I have obligations and things. But the thing is, creating, one way or another, it has kept me away from overthinking more than I already do. It has kept me busy. And sometimes that's what you need, is to keep yourself busy, to stay away from self-sabotaging and eating too much. Sometimes I forget, like I used to overeat a lot, like comfort foods and things like that. Like I used to eat more than I needed. I used to stay more in bed than I needed. Yes, I know that's depression, but still, you know, I used to do those things. And when you're busy editing and uploading and things like that, you're not in that state of mind. So doing this, it keeps me away from doing that. It does keep me in the overworking side of myself, in which I just overwork the crap out of myself and I just overdo it. Yes, it does. But it's not as bad as being in the bed, eating and just wallowing. That's worse. I prefer editing. I prefer editing and, you know, and uploading and making myself miserable editing like 1,000 shorts more. So yeah, that's why I do it. Not for the views, not for the audience. It's because I needed it. I needed something to do with my time, something to keep me outside of my head, outside of my mind, and outside of the bed, you know. I had to do something and I had to express. And the positive side is that now I've noticed that my style of communication, everything has been changing because I've been changing. It's amazing how much I change per week. It's astonishing. And sometimes I watch when I'm editing or I'm uploading or I'm editing shorts. I'm realizing how much I have changed compared to a month ago, 3 weeks ago. And I'm just like, wow. I'm not the same person. That's why sometimes it's really difficult to me to write a description, because I no longer remember what I was talking about in that video. Or even if I was somewhat aware of what I spoke about in that video, I'm such a completely different human being. That's amazing. That's growth. That means I have allowed myself through a creative outlet to grow instead of remaining stagnant, which is amazing, which is great. It's a great way of therapy. Victoria, you should get to therapy. Yeah, you're gonna pay for it, my dear. It's just one day of this. I'm gonna tell you my past. How many times I've tried to get some therapy and it was just like mental. It was literally mental. So yeah, until next time, Wilson. And that's exactly how I used to call you at one point in time. Because, let's face it, this whole thing, it's with no other human interaction, with almost no comments, and barely any people watching. It feels like talking to Wilson in this lonely island of a world. Interesting how not so many videos ago I recorded about the human experience and the other, you know. Who knows? But this is the thing. With growth comes anxiety. So it's only reasonable to feel like this. Unexpected. Well, I hope you found it enlightening, useful, or, entertaining, somehow. And until next time, I wish you nothing but the best, and bye-bye.